Could we start? Good evening and a very warm welcome to all two dear parents, students, teachers. Good afternoon. A very warm welcome to each and every one of you, two dear parents, students, educators. We are delighted to have you, each one of you here today on this much awaited seminar on choosing the right course at the right campus. Choosing a right course at the right campus is a significant milestone in a student's educational pursuits as it sets the foundation for future shaping your knowledge, skills, career opportunities. And this whole process and a journey, a decision can be very daunting and overwhelming with innumerable options and considerations to evaluate. Throughout this seminar, we will explore various aspects that contribute to finding the right course and campus for you. We will discuss how to identify your interests, passions, goals, as these will be essential in aligning your course of study with your personal aspirations. We belong to Institute for Career Studies. ICS was established in 1985 by Dr. Amrita Das. ICS has been globalized, recognized globally incomparable brand in career counseling and training. It is a member of Asia Pacific Career Development Association US and is also registered with the Government of India's National Career Service as a skills providing organization. With more than 1,000 leading schools, colleges, professional institutes, and universities across the world in our network, we have reached out to and benefited an estimated 450,000 students and professionals in India and abroad, and we plan to connect with millions more. Here it is a star-studded team of ICS with many senior career counselors. With our head, Dr. Amrita Das, who is a globally renowned educationist and career consultant. I request my colleague, Ms. Pooja Ahuja, to please introduce the speaker of the day, Dr. Amrita Das.
Thank you, Ms. Dipali. I am so privileged to introduce you all to the founder director of ICS, Dr. Amrita Das. Ma'am is a globally renowned educationist and career consultant. She established the Institute for Career Studies, ICS, in 1985 and pioneered the concept of career counseling and guidance services in India. ICS, which has an eminent team of experts, has been recognized with the Times Group of Award for Excellence in Education. A multifaceted professional, Dr. Das serves on the governing body of many prestigious public schools and institutes of higher learning. Is a member steering committee of NEP 2020 UP government, has been an advisor to Small Industry Development Bank of India, SIDBI. Ma'am is a member of the Steering Committee on Women and Child Development Planning Commission 9 5-year plan and ex-officio director of the State Bank of India. Acknowledged for her deep knowledge, insights, and futuristic vision, Dr. Das has visited universities the world over as a resource person. In 2019, she was a guest speaker at the Nagoya University, Japan, and recently at the York University, Canada. She's also a columnist for leading dailies and magazines and panelist for national TV channels. Dr. Das has been invited to participate in the numerous international conferences such as UN Social Summit, Denmark, UN Conference on Women, China, State of the World Forum, US, Global Knowledge Partnership by the World Bank, Malaysia. In 2022, she co-chaired a global online consultation of persons with disabilities entitled Bright New World, jointly organized by ICS and ICPE Slovenia. In September 22, she presented a paper on human-centric value creation through AI and digitization at the 5th Global Conference of Value Creation in Kanazawa, Japan. Her professional and philanthropic contribution have won her many accolades, including the TCS Women Achiever Award. Her biography was included in the Who's Who in the World 2015 32nd edition for her exemplary contribution in the field of education and career guidance. In Feb 2020, Dr. Das was featured on the cover page of CEO Insights magazine as a trailblazer guiding the nation towards an enlightening destiny. Dear students, parents, teachers, all of us will have an amazing time with ma'am with her knowledge and expertise. Over to you, Dr. Das.
Thank you very much, Dipali and Pooja, for introducing ICS and for introducing me. Namaste. Greetings of the day to our august audience from across the world, an audience of students, of parents, of teachers and principals. Once again, on behalf of ICS, I extend a hearty welcome to each one of you. As we deep dive into the exciting future of limitless possibilities, let's focus on making informed decisions regarding courses, campuses, and careers for realizing our goals and dreams. So I would like to start by saying that today the world is your launch pad and a universe of opportunities await you. You're a lucky generation. This decade of the 21st century is your decade, because it is in this decade that you will complete your school education, move on to college and university, and land your first job. So regard the world as your launch pad, wherein the world is waiting for you with a universe of opportunities. We are indeed at a point where AI-driven quantum leaps in technology are impacting all careers and the ways of work, as well as our lives. So we have augmented reality, virtual reality, extended reality, 3D printing. Recently, ChatGPT has created a stir, the Internet of Everything. The James Webb Space Telescope is opening the space for a lot of amazing careers and research. And we have Meta, which is in fact blurring the distinction between virtual and real worlds. So we are going through a phenomenal stage of disruptions and transition. Disruptions happen when new technologies replace older ones. However, though there are predictions that millions of jobs will be lost, I assure you, for each one of you, there'll be millions more waiting. Now, what will make the difference is high touch before high tech. High touch being the human touch, wherein we have to align artificial intelligence with human values to improve the quality of our lives. Here, originality of thinking. So original thought and creativity will make a difference, and which will help us to lead the technologies. We have to outsmart smart technologies. So two very important factors, and those are the ability to ideate, to be a thought leader, the ability to construct new processes wherein we use our deep knowledge of our subject, connect the dots with other subjects, and come up with I would say, an opportunity for the world, which is a new opportunity. So we've got to lead the change. And in all of this, the human touch, that is interpersonal skills, understanding, compassion, will always make us relevant. So align AI with human values to improve the quality of our lives. And integrate the different disciplines. That is very important. And that is one reason why all boards, whether it is the IB board or it's Cambridge, ISC, CBSE, they have demolished the silos of art, science, and commerce and emphasized on interdisciplinary education. Now, in order to be able to navigate the complexities of the emerging trends, it is important to know ourselves. So at ICS, we have a three-pronged approach: know yourself, inform yourself, and plan for yourself. All wisdom starts with knowing yourself. So knowing yourself requires you to fine-tune the choices to your unique frequency of aptitudes, what you're best at, your logical aptitude, social aptitude, or managerial, numerical aptitude, aptitude of subjects, your interests, what you enjoy doing, your talents and aspirations. List these, acknowledge them, and then based on that, inform yourself about the latest trends regarding courses, campuses, and careers. Information is power. The right information at the right time will get you to the right opportunity. And we are there to guide you for this. And this webinar will focus on the entire approach of how to make informed decisions. Based on that, plan for yourself. Focus on the right course at the right campus at this stage of your journey as you prepare for future jobs. So simply put, when you integrate all three of these, know, inform, and plan, what does it take to get to your dream career? To get to your dream career, you need to understand what you're great at. You put in effort, you get very good marks, or you get recognition, you get rewarded for your subjects, you're recognized for your talents. So make a list of what you're great at. Get feedback from your teachers, from your parents, because sometimes we tend to overlook what our natural strengths are. We take them for granted. Then bring together with this what you're passionate about, what you love to do. So what you're great at is your power, but this is driven by your superpower, which is what you're passionate about, what engages you, what enables you to reach the greatest heights because you're engaged with that work, you're enjoying it, and you actually like to discover the new aspects of it. Now, if you bring the two together, it would result in a rewarding career, because at the intersection where your talents and the needs of the world converge lie many opportunities for your success, which will give you a sense of purpose in life, fulfillment, happiness, recognition, and remuneration. So remember, a dream job has to encompass what you're great at, what you love to do. Now, I'm often asked, what is the difference between jobs and careers? Jobs are building blocks from which a career is made. So remember that within the umbrella of a career, there would be a number of jobs which would tap into your area of specialization. For instance, in the medical field, you have jobs for different specializations of doctors, you have jobs for paramedical staff, for teachers. So within each career field, within each career family, there are a number of jobs, and you got to see which of these would be best aligned with your aptitudes and your interests, because it's important to have a journey which will balance your personal and professional life seamlessly, and which will give you that purpose and meaning in life, which will give you fulfillment. You will enjoy it. you'll be happy, and you'll get recognition as well as remuneration. Most careers are open from all subject streams or choices or combinations. And that's the best news I can give you, because no longer are you limited to making choices within art, science, commerce, silos, or streams. These have been demolished. So you can make interdisciplinary choices, and maximum careers can be accessed from any subject combination. I'm often asked, how can I get a career in the area of space, of building spacecraft, because my passion is design? Now, we put this question to Dr. Hashima Hassan, who was very much a part of the team that built the James Webb Space Telescope. And she said that in the process of building the telescope, they hired a lot of artists and designers. Another excellent example is that we had, as the chairperson of the State Bank of India, Mrs. Arundhati Bhattacharjee. She didn't study economics or maths or commerce or management. She went through a bachelor's of arts, and then she did her master's in literature. Now you would say, how come the field of banking or management of finance is open for people who have studied arts or social sciences? This is because research at MIT has proven, and at other top institutions, it has been clearly established that if you study what engages you, what you're naturally good at, what you enjoy reading more and more and applying in day-to-day life, that develops your mind, that develops your intellect, and then your mind is able to absorb all knowledge. So keep in mind that you have to identify the subjects, the specializations that resonate with you, that gel with you, and dive deep into exploring more about those subjects. Don't get limited by thinking that certain subjects are not correlated with certain careers. We have to prepare for the future according to the latest trend, which is a multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary approach to all careers. So let's look at the pathways that you will have as you journey from school to college, university, and beyond. For those of you who love academics, who are very keen on studying a subject or a bunch of subjects, we advise to start with your BA, BSc, BCom in the subject of your choice, because after that, you have the opportunity to specialize in those subjects, or if you wish, move over to a professional degree like management or advertising or public relations, law, filmmaking, hospitality, and so on. If you're just not interested in an academic field, and of course, if you're going in for engineering or medicine or architecture, you start immediately after +2 or after a gap, and then you can move into engineering, medicine, management, hotel management, media studies, social work, architecture, defense services, art and design. So if you're not moving into engineering, medicine, architecture, and you're not interested in an academic field, then move into doing management, law, the 5-year program, or hospitality, or design, etc. There's a major question that is put to us at this stage. What is better? I love economics, but everyone tells me that it's important to do management. What should I do? Should I do a BBA or should I first do economics? Now, what we say is it's important to see whether it is accounting or management or economics or math that you are best at and accordingly decide. So if you love economics, you're good at maths, don't jump into a BBA straight away. Do an economics major or an economics honors, and then decide whether you want to do a specialization in economics, like business economics or financial economics, environmental economics. There's so many specializations there, or you want to move into management or law. So taking an academic route will give you a possibility of a choice between a specialization and a professional course. You also have amazing combinations. For example, you can do English, psychology, journalism with performing arts. You can do economics with media study, a BA, BEd, BSc, BEd, BA LLB, BCom LLB, BSc LLB. So there are a lot of combinations as well. Now, all these choices can be confusing because you get so many viewpoints as well about what is trending, what is the best, but go by what is ideal for you. You have to customize the choice. Don't go for generalized advice. Customize the choice. At ICS, we help you to customize the choice and to fine-tune the choice to your unique frequency so that you stand out. And that is what we always recommend. Don't get misled by generalized advice. And there's a lot of it that floats around. There are a lot of myths and misconceptions. For example, that if you take up science careers, you will have an advantage over commerce, and commerce will have an advantage over humanities. That's not the case. All subjects are at par. It depends on what you make of it. All careers are at par, depends on what you make of it. There's no hierarchy as such. So make choices based on who you are and ask questions like, who am I? Where am I? Where do I want to go? How do I get there? What steps should I take to get there? Remain deeply connected with yourself and explore all opportunities that would bring out the best in you. Now, I'd like to share with you what Microsoft has said about interdisciplinary approaches. In a study called The Future Computed, Microsoft has gone on record to say that if AI is to reach its potential in serving humans, then every engineer will need to learn something about liberal arts, and every liberal arts major will need to learn more about engineering. In other words, your studies will depend on an interdisciplinary approach and understanding of how to tackle problems that the world faces for the betterment of humankind, that high touch before high tech that I spoke about, the very, very important aspect of aligning artificial intelligence with human values to improve the quality of our lives, wherein again, originality of thought, creativity, critical thinking, cognitive skills is what's going to make a difference. And these develop if you make the right subject choices. Now, there are infinite options for courses and campuses. And the focus has to be choosing the right course at the right campus after grade 12. Here again, making informed choices is very, very important because your future will depend on the choice you make today. Of course, you can change tracks, but if you go ahead with a certain degree of surety of aligning the choices to your aptitudes, to your interests, to your talents and aspirations, you cannot go wrong. Also, keep in mind that in this fast-paced scenario, you'll find newer careers, newer specializations, and courses being announced ever so often. So all of you, Gen Z, will have at least 5 career innings in your lifetime, a minimum of 5. 80% of specializations 10 years from now are not known. So a strong start, a strong beginning, a strong foundation will give you an ideal launch pad to the future, wherein as it unfolds, you go from strength to strength, making each building block of your knowledge and experience meaningful to take on the infrastructure of what awaits you. So when we come to a right course, here's a checklist. And I think it's important for you to note down this checklist. You can take a screenshot, because before you decide what course you want to do, it is important to look at the recognition of that course or the standing of that course in the institution of higher learning. All colleges and universities do not have strengths in each and every field. They have their unique areas of specialization. So look at the standing or recognition of the course, the curriculum of the selected course. So, for instance, if you were to look at environment studies, or if you were to look at psychology or behavioral finance, each university will have a different syllabus. And you've got to understand what is on offer. Then look at the eligibility criteria. What is required of you to be able to be eligible or suitable for that course? The admission process for the course. Is there an entrance exam? What is the minimum cutoff? Will there be an interview? Also, does that program have a highly qualified and experienced faculty? A global faculty, a global outreach, a global context? Then look at beyond campus opportunities. That also is important. So with that checklist of how to choose the course, look at the campus for a checklist. Now, often we have put a question, students ask, which is more important, the course or the campus? We say both. And what I want to assure you about is that there are many, many campuses offering top-notch courses today, and these are all renowned courses. Gone are the days when there were more students than good quality higher educational colleges and institutions. Today, we have more seats than students. So education is no longer a seller's market, it's a buyer's market. You have choice. But for that choice, you need to know what is available where, for which at the Institute for Career Studies, we constantly upgrade the information and update our information. Our counselors and experts visit the campuses. So we go back to the first part of the campus checklist. Can we go back one? So check the recognition and reputation, the accreditations of the campus. Identify your preferred degrees and courses by looking at the syllabus and the kind of placement opportunities on offer. Do a cost-benefit analysis and also consider the scholarships on offer. Don't feel that you're not going to apply to a particular campus because the fees are beyond your paying capacity. There are a number of scholarships on offer. Be informed about the teaching learning methodologies, the opportunities for research, projects, placements, extracurricular activities, global exposure, because it is these factors that will develop your employability skills. Employability skills of creativity, of being able to communicate well, your cognitive skills, collaborative work, which is so important, team spirit. So it's important to find out how you would be taught this subject and what the teaching learning environment is all about. Reach out to alumni and current students of the campus to get to know what their experience was, to take their advice, and they're very forthcoming about sharing their experiences. Know more about the location and the opportunities, the safety, the cultural life. Most importantly, as you're going to be spending the next few years and very important years of your life in that particular campus, book a visit to your shortlisted campuses. And these can be virtual visits or physical visits. And most universities today are welcoming you to come to see and then to take an informed decision. So don't just make that choice without being sure. Don't go by what everybody says. Take that into account, but do your own research, and we are there to guide you for it. Here are some tips for getting to the campus of your choice. Start early. Research and prepare a customized list based on what we've just talked about, the right course at the right campus. Know the eligibility criteria and begin your preparation. By eligibility criteria, I mean, for example, if you're going for a course that requires mathematics and you've not taken up mathematics, then make sure that you do it from the open school or you do it as an advanced placement subject, which will make you eligible. Prepare for the required eligibility tests, like where SAT is required. Those till 2024, SAT will not be required as an essential criterion, but QET, for example, is an eligibility test, TOEFL, IELTS, so prepare for them. Many campuses require essays, statement of purpose, letter of recommendation, so get going now. Have clarity regarding requirements for extracurricular and sports quota. Because if you're great at music or dance or sports, there could be seats reserved for you because of the fact that you excelled in extracurricular or sports. Apply strategically to include all the suggested courses and campuses. So don't limit yourself. Have a list of at least 10 which could form a part of your dream course and campus group. Calculate the living costs. That is important so that you can prepare your financials in advance, especially if you're going to be away from home. Follow up at each stage. Don't just get disappointed if your name is not there on the first list. Go to the second. If it's not on the second, go to the third. Many students give up after the third only to realize that their name came up thereafter. So follow up till the end. And this is what will take you to your dream campus. Remember, success comes when opportunity meets with preparation. And therefore, we have tried to put out all the factors that will keep you future ready. There are a lot of new courses. This is just an idea. For instance, today you can do your BA with performing arts or theater studies, Western music, along with English and psychology or economics or another subject. So that is possible. BTech in biotechnology with bioinformatics, computational engineering, and so on with chemistry. This is interesting. Bachelor's of Design in a field called humanizing technology, which is very important in today's AI-driven world of quantum leaps in technology. Environmental design, experience design, UI, UX, visual communication, social innovation, sustainability. There's so much in the field of design, which connects design with social sciences, with technology. BSc honors with artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. Another one, computer science and data analytics, business management and analytics, and so on. You have BSc community science, BBA decision science. So you see there are a lot of newer courses which have come in, and these are the ones that you should be exploring because these have been introduced keeping in mind the trends in the world of work. Let's move to studies in India and studies abroad. Studying in India in one of the renowned campuses, and there are many today, is an effective and rewarding educational experience where you get high quality education along with opportunities for all-round development. And a lot of these campuses have collaborations with global campuses. So you get a lot of international experience, global experience through the connect of the Indian universities with top campuses abroad. For the BA, BSc, BCom, apply to renowned campuses across the country. Our website has a list of these based on the field you're going for, and so does our app, ICS Career GPS, which is like an encyclopedia on your mobile phone. Also, extracurricular activities will give you an edge for admission to many colleges and universities. Keep that in mind and explore and see where you stand with your strengths in extracurricular activities and sports when it comes to admission to universities across India and the world. For studies abroad, the important points to consider is the cost-benefit analysis, because at the undergraduate level, fees are exorbitant. There are very few scholarships at the undergrad level. You will have to look at the eligibilities for those scholarships and fee waivers. Also, along with capability, copability is important. Are you able to cope living far away from home? And do you think it'll be better for you to do your undergrad studies in India and postgrad abroad, or 2 years in India and then take a transfer abroad, wherein the fees would become more affordable and you will be more mature to manage living away from home, far away from home, where there are perhaps no relations or family friends? So copability is important. So also the placement scenario. Ideally, choose the countries which provide you with the post-study work visa, which means after you've completed your bachelor's, you then get a work visa to stay on in the country and get the requisite work experience and earn back some of what you invested in your education. Now, the countries which give you post-study work visas are Canada, UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand. In USA, you get what is called the Optional Professional Training, OPT. So these are the places where you can get placement. And it's important to understand what kind of placement, what are the requirements. So keep these factors in mind for studies abroad. The general requirements for most campuses across the world and many universities in India as well is a statement of purpose or an essay, wherein it is very, very important to reflect your passion, who you are. I've just returned from USA, where I visited top universities. I went to Brown's University, Harvard, MIT, then in Rhode Island, Brown's, RISD, the Rhode Island School of Design, Princeton, Rice University in Houston, And everywhere, the professors I met or the admission teams that I interacted with clearly stated that what they look for in these essays, in these statements of purpose, are passion, where you're able to define your edge, your uniqueness. Don't go by what you feel will look good. You put out what is the essential you. The pursuit of excellence is also what they want to see. That whatever you've taken up, you're driven to excel in it. You're driven to give your best in it. They want to look at your academic journey along with your extracurricular activities. And very importantly, they want to have an assessment of what your contribution has been to your school life, to your society, to your community. All this, they say, will enable them to understand whether you'll be able to thrive in their environment, will be able to be a success as you go through that particular undergraduate course. So you need a letter of recommendation, the standardized tests where they're applicable. TOEFL and IELTS are required for a lot of countries. Your resume, your CV should be very well structured and designed. Your portfolio to include art, design, craft, creative work if you're going for any particular design-oriented program. School transcripts and mark sheets, get them well in advance. Last minute, the schools are unable to provide it. Your predicted grades, internship certificates, certificates of courses you've undertaken, and certificates of extracurricular activities and sports. Please get these well in advance, file them. They're difficult to acquire last minute. So keep in mind the general requirements and collect these. Let's come to tips to future-proof your career. And if you keep these in mind from now onwards, you're surely going to be able to get to your dream campus, your dream career, and have a flying start. Very importantly, stay informed and up to date with the latest trends. Keep tracking them. It's like a treasure hunt. I said you have to outsmart smart technologies. 80% of specializations don't exist today. So if you stay informed, you will see the trends and you'll see what is required to update your knowledge and skills. So do that. It's a continuous process. Be flexible. Be flexible to acquire new knowledge, to acquire new skills in this journey of being a lifelong learner. Enhance your knowledge of technologies. So embrace new technologies and anything that is required to make you more efficient with the use of technology in the workplace. Cultivate relationships of people in your field of interest, network with them, develop soft skills, which are very, very important across the board. These are excellent communication skills, people skills, skills of collaboration. These are important across the board. And create a personal brand which highlights how you are different from the crowd, a personal brand which shows what you have done to make a difference, and have a positive attitude, a growth mindset. So if you follow through on these, you'll not go wrong. And this is what's going to take you to great heights. These are the tips to future-proof your career. Be a lifelong learner, update your knowledge and skills, and embrace new technologies. Also, from now, what you should do is, from now onwards, see how you could take on internships that leverage your knowledge and skills, how you can take on some courses which would enable you to start earning as a professional from now. So the courses which are trending presently are analytics, design thinking, digital marketing, digital content writing. Pick up these skills from now. You don't have to wait till the end of your undergraduate course, till you get your degree. Start your journey as an undergraduate student as quickly as possible. Enter into the world of work as well. Dive into that space, take internships, and all this will give you everything that you require to be successful and happy in life. Now, having taken you through this journey and giving you a blueprint, an idea of what it takes to make informed decision, let's see how we at ICS can facilitate your journey to your dream campus and onward to your dream career. With 35 plus years of experience, we have launched many people successfully globally, and we'll definitely connect you with them depending on your choices. So for studies in India and studies abroad, we have a team, and I'll request the heads of these team to share with you. So we have Ms. Dipali Srivastava with us. She's our senior career counselor, and she heads the Study in India team. Over to you, Dipali, to share how we can help.
Thank you, Dr. Das. And it's a privilege to be here and on this platform with Dr. Das and sharing our inputs as well. So as ma'am has informed that I head the India admission. So once the student register with us, we guide the student and we handhold the student throughout till he gets selected to a final campus of his choice. So the process involves like a list of colleges, identifying the best colleges suitable to the candidate with respect to his academic performance as well as his portfolio. We tailor-made it according to the university needs. Application filling process, in essay writing. Some of those major liberal arts campuses that we're hearing of is Ashoka, like Priya University, Ahmedabad University, Pune Liberal Arts Colleges. They all require students to write an SOP or an essay. So we assess them in that in the process of GD interview. We also provide the students the tips on how to prepare, providing them sample papers, some practice papers for the same. So we take the student through the whole journey from application filling to the point assisting him in college application, preparation, guidance for interviews. Till the end, he secures admission to a reputed college. So that's how we, in collaboration with the parents and the students, we work together for the success of the candidate who gets enrolled with us at ICS. I request Ms. Pooja to...
Over to you, Pooja.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Das, for giving us so much of knowledge about courses and campuses. So heading this studies abroad program, we come across many people and we heard their sessions. They always say that studies abroad is the most complex process. I look at it as a flip side, and I do say that it's the most learning process. Whereas a student, we learn about our own self, we learn about our own choices, we learn about our own strengths, weaknesses. So I always tell my students, enjoy this journey because you're going to know about yourself a lot. And we'll encourage you to take up more about what you love and what you're passionate about. At Studies Abroad, how at ICS we help students it's the journey. So we start with the exploration stage where we help them fine-tune the courses. You may like this program or you may like this subject. So we fine-tune it with the psychometric test and identify the best fit subject or a course for you. Once we fine-tune the best fit, from the exploration, we come to the most important part is that what Dr. Das said is the brand building. We help you project your best. We help you make your first foot, put your foot forward with the best thing. So putting up, your good internships and doing such courses which show your passion, your drive for a particular course and how much you love that subject. So we come up with these kind of, portfolio building and projecting brand. After this, we move to the next in the stage where we fine tune the campuses. We look at the academic reports, we look at your CV and everything, and then come to the final thing of list of courses, colleges and all. So colleges is very important. We feel the student get into the dream, the reach and the safety. Fine tuning happens with the college list. And then the final letter, that is the most enjoying part of the journey, is when you get so many offer letters and you have to choose between which is the best. And in each journey, there's a role of parents, because they also become a part of your journey, because they also learn about the child, they look at the financials and discuss about it. So we help the students with fine-tuning the suitable courses, help them with profile building, brand building, and then we help them with the application process. The most complex process becomes the most enjoyable process, where you introspect about your own self. And then, guidelines, how we always guide students about how to go about talking to your teacher about your letter of recommendation, because that plays a crucial, also important role in your application. Talk about your teacher about your strengths, which is your weaknesses, what have you done beyond school and in the school, because there's so many students in the school. So teacher has to realize who you are and then write the letter of recommendations. Help you with the scholarships. Our students have got 100% scholarship. We have students who are studying at Cornell University with Tata scholarships, and plus many more. Which is your brand and which is your best activity? Let's put it forward and let's present you. And then the documentation. We have a full support with the visa support, how to get into the visa application, your interview support. And then the last and the most important part of the journey is the final selection, where, all brains come together, your choices, our decisions, and your parents' decision, and all of us look into and help you with your dream campus. So I feel this is the most learning and enjoying journey when it comes to studies abroad.
Thank you so much, Pooja. You have definitely made it an enjoyable and successful journey. In fact, both Dipali and Pooja have. So thank you for that. We look forward to helping and supporting all of you present in this journey towards your dream campus, whichever country it is. We are there to ensure that you get the best. We'll now open it for questions and answers. But before that, I want to just state that these are 3 factors that we need to focus on. Anticipate the changes that are coming at a very fast pace in a volatile, uncertain, complex world. And as you anticipate, prepare to be future ready, lead the change. Leading the change would require you to get out of your comfort zone. Just as this fish is jumping out of water, which is so important for its survival, is taking a leap of faith into a larger arena, which is what we have to do when the world is our stage. So just unleash your potential to the fullest and explore what is going to be the best destination for you, and design your pathway accordingly. So let's open it for questions and answers now. I'll be very happy to take your questions. And even after the webinar, don't hesitate to write to us. We'll be happy to respond and to guide you. Let's take questions now.
So, Dr. Das, the first question which is there is, which is more preferable, to study filmmaking in India or abroad?
So here again, we have to look at which campus offers filmmaking and which aspects of filmmaking. So there are some wonderful campuses in India and there are wonderful campuses abroad for filmmaking at the undergraduate level. So it depends. Here it would largely depend on the cost involved, because studying filmmaking abroad is very, very expensive. So if you study filmmaking, say in UK, US, Canada, it's not going to be less than 30 lakhs per annum. Where in India, if you do filmmaking, say at NID, National Institute of Design, where you have communication design, which is filmmaking, it'll be much less. You'll not be spending more than a lakh per annum with some scholarships. So it depends on the cost factor here, and accordingly you take a decision, because there are very good institutions in India for filmmaking.
There's another question. Good evening, ma'am. I want to pursue CMA. On another hand, I want to do BBA and MBA also. So I am really confused in taking my decision in taking my college leave or coaching for CMA.
So CMA is cost and management accountancy. CMA is cost and management accountancy, which can be done alongside your undergraduate studies. So you can do CMA alongside BBA or economics or BCom or any other subject. So courses like chartered accountancy, cost and management accountancy, company secretary can be done alongside, because these are certified courses and they are delivered as online or distance learning programs.
Ma'am, it's a dream of mine to study abroad after my 12th. Please talk about the scholarships available and the process in some detail. That would be very helpful.
So when you look at scholarships available, it is important to know that academic excellence is a very important criterion. So you have to be a student who has done academically very, very well. Or another way that you can get a scholarship is that, for example, you're a sports person and you have played at the national level. You got national or regional or international level recognition. Then US is one country where you get very good sports scholarship. I can give you an example. There was a student we guided whose name was Richi Agarwal. He was from Calcutta, very good at tennis. So he wanted to study computer science and he needed a scholarship. In his case, we suggested that he showcase his tennis through a video game, through a video, upload it, send it to the coaches, tennis coaches to universities in US, and request for scholarship. So he did get a scholarship and he studied computer science in USA and came out with a great job. Now, there's a very important point. If you get a scholarship, sports scholarship, you have to play for the campus. You have to play for that college or university, and at the same time maintain your academic scores. You cannot let that go down, because then your scholarship would be withdrawn. So there are scholarships which are specific. As Pooja mentioned, you have the Tata Scholarship for Cornell University. Then you have scholarships which are given by different campuses, but they're need-blind financial scholarships, which are provided by various universities, Ivy League universities of US. So at the undergraduate, your best bet is to apply for need-blind scholarships, but that would require academic excellence among other factors, which we spoke about. So definitely go for it, but build up your academic portfolio along with community service or a talent which you can showcase.
There's a question. I want to pursue computer science at Harvard. I do have national and state level achievements in various extracurricular activities. How should I proceed with it, keeping in mind the cost?
Harvard is a university which is part of the Ivy League. So if you want to go to Harvard University, the standards are very high when it comes to academics. You're competing with people from across the world for a very popular subject, computer science. So here you have to develop a competitive edge, and you can develop that competitive edge through some projects that you do, research work that you do, and you need to show excellence in that. That is how you would be able to be considered for admission to Harvard. And once you're admitted, then the need blind aspect comes in. Now, what does need blind mean? Need blind means that you're first admitted based on your eligibility. And eligibility for all Ivy Leagues are all-round excellence. Excellence throughout in your chosen subject. Passion for it. Making a difference to your school, to your society. So once you're admitted, then they look at your requirement for financial aid. And for that, they would look at your parents' income, and the parents' income is assessed from the bank statements and the income tax returns. So you can get 100% scholarship, you can get 60%, 50%, depending on what the financial status of your parents are.
Next question is from Sonali Sen. My son wants to do hotel management. Which college would be better for him? Is it a government college or a private college?
I think more than looking at government or private, we have to look at the institution and the placements. So if you're looking at hotel management in India, among the government ones, you have the Indian Institute of Hotel Management in Delhi, in Mumbai, Bangalore, Kolkata, which come under the National Council of Hotel Management and Catering Technology. So they have a common entrance test, and these are very, very good. The private ones which are outstanding are the ones in Aurangabad, which is run by the Taj Group, Manipal, run by the Welcome Group. Now, Goenka University has an excellent program, and for students who are particularly interested in culinary arts, they have a Cordon Bleu School of Culinary Arts for which you get a bachelor's degree. So, private or government does not matter as much as the quality of education and the placement. And the ones which I mentioned to you are among the best.
How can I pursue psychology after passing 12th with commerce stream?
So most campuses would accept you for a course in psychology, even if you didn't have it in school. So you apply for it. And if you're going to universities which require the QET, you would have to take the QET exam, and you would have to mention psychology as a preferred subject wherein you can get it. But there are many other private universities which would take you for psychology with their own entrance exams, like Ashoka University or Kriya University. You have Jindal or Goenka, Bennett, Symbiosis, St. Xavier's in Mumbai, Sophia in Delhi, Jai Hind. These would take you for psychology without having had it in your school.
So, ma'am, next question is from many students who want to aspire to be a doctor. So they want to know your opinion about, is it better to study in India or go abroad? And what is the situation, how to go about?
For medical studies?
Yes,
for medical studies, it has been an established and proven fact that MBBS gives you a very strong foundation for medicine. So take the NEET exam, prepare well for it, and take it as a second attempt if required. So studying in India for medicine gives you a very, very strong foundation because you get to see patients with so many different ailments, and you get to fine-tune the treatment in very specific ways, which you don't get abroad. Also, it is much more affordable. If you were to study in UK, It's very expensive and very competitive. Likewise, if you were to do your MBBS in Australia, so cost is an important fact. You can consider your postgraduate studies abroad, but that would again require preparation. I would say this would be better, the MBBS route. Now, there is an alternative. If you want to study in USA, so for USA, you have to first do your undergraduate studies, do your bachelor's. And when you do your bachelor's, you have to select subjects which come under the umbrella of pre-med subjects, pre-medical studies subjects, which include science as well as social science. Once you've done that, you appear for the entrance exam for medical studies and go ahead for your MD. Again, it's a long journey and it's very expensive. Then you also have a different route, very different, wherein there is a medical college in Barbados, AUB, where you are prepared for the United States medical licentiate exam, and you get then an entry to study medical studies in USA. So there are multiple routes. If you're really keen on medicine and you find you haven't made it through NEET, you can look at AUB in Barbados. That gives you an opportunity. It is expensive, but there are scholarships available there. UK, I told you, very competitive, very expensive, and so also Australia and New Zealand. We'll guide you to fine-tune this choice. Prepare for NEET. That's your best bet.
Next question is from a father who wants to understand that, is it possible to do a BA in psychology in India or do my master's in psychology abroad? What's the procedure for getting scholarships? And I think scholarship is the one biggest point, Dr. Das, I would like you to highlight on, because there are many questions in the Q&A section about, how to get scholarships.
So once again, I emphasize that at the bachelor's level, there are very few scholarships abroad. There are many more at the master's level. And the scholarships are few and far between. Highly competitive. There are virtually no scholarships in UK. In US, you have need-blind financial assistance, and you have some scholarships. And also you have some scholarships in Canada, but very few, not many. And all of them require academic excellence. You have to be absolutely outstanding in terms of academics and co-curricular activities, and exceptional in terms of some of the additional research that you may have done. For instance, the student who got the Tata Scholarship this year for physics major at Cornell University, his journey started right after grade 10. We met him first when he was grade 10 and he enrolled with us. His name is Harshvardhan Maskara. We saw his profile, guided him to develop in a way that would show his exceptional abilities as a scientist. So he even went for the Beamline project of CERN in Geneva, got a certificate. He did some courses in artificial intelligence, in machine learning. He taught students, his juniors at the Doon School. All that added to his profile. So your profile has to be curated in a way that it's outstanding. Then there is some scope for scholarship at some universities. But it is always for excellence in your field, all-round excellence. And then specifically, there are some sports scholarships which US universities have.
Next question is from Mr. Faizan Ahmad. How to find your passion? Like, ma'am, I try to do everything to find passion, but either I win everything or lose everything.
So when you win everything, obviously there's something happening there. And what is happening there is that you're putting your heart into that particular activity. So whichever activity engages you the most, which brings out the best in you, where you feel that you're learning and enjoying and growing, that is your passion. And I would say you could have multiple passions. You could be passionate about a subject along with maybe music or dance or acting or sports. So your career portfolio should ideally bring together the building blocks of your talent, of your passion, and you need to manage your time well to be able to integrate these activities in your schedule.
So next question is, tell us about the government jobs open if we do BSc stream with BSc with streams as maths and science.
So government jobs, BSc, math and science, you would then need to prepare for civil services, defense services. So all government jobs would be related to civil services, defense services, banking services. Within banking services, the Reserve Bank of India, nationalized banks, SIDBI, they take you from subjects across the board. And these subjects would definitely stand you in, to gain. They are advantages. But basically, government jobs require you to prepare for competitive exams. And we advise students that if you're going for government jobs, then it's important to have a safety net or a fallback career, because these are competitive exams, large numbers of students applying. What if you don't get in? So at least you have a standby career which is related to what you like. So if it's math and computer science, you could decide to specialize in, say, data science, which has a big demand, or analytics. So you could move into computer science, analytics, machine learning, virtual reality, any of the emerging areas. And there would be lots of job opportunities for you, which would also require you to have the employability skills which we talked about.
There's a question. I'm quite confused between BBA/MBA or law. So which is a better career option and what should be preferable, whether to study in India or abroad?
So basically, you're confused between whether you want to do management or you want to do law. First of all, explore. Know about what management is, know what about law is. There are multiple routes. So if you want to do BBA, you could do BBA LLB. If you want to do both, you're sure about management and law, there's a 5-year course, BBA LLB, where you study management plus law. If you're not sure about law, you could do BBA or any other undergraduate course in a field of your interest. So it could be economics, it could be accountancy, it could be psychology, and then you can move into an MBA or law. So undergraduate in a field of your choice, that'll give you an opportunity to explore whether you want to go more for management or more towards law. Now, I'll give you a case study here. There's a student we guided from Wellam Girls, name is Vasundhara Sanwal. She was very good at economics, but like most students, took the CLAT exam, got into the law school in Bangalore. She did very well in economics. After she got into the National Law School, everybody congratulated and said, wow, now you can go into this great campus and study law and come out with a fantastic job. But Vasundhara was not very sure because she was passionate about economics. So then they came to ICS and I met with the parents, with grandparents, Vasundhara. And what emerged was that out of everything, it is economics that was her strength. So I advise start with economics. Do your BA honors with economics and then decide whether you want to do law or continue with economics or do MBA or anything else. So she started with economics. She went to St. Stephen's. She did so well in economics that she got into Cambridge with a master's in economics. I met her at that stage. I was in London for a meeting. I met her and I asked her, what are you planning to do now? Do you want to do law or business? And she said law was completely out of the question. She was not interested in it at all, but she was interested in an MBA, which she did a few years later. And now she heads her organization, as presently posted in Singapore. So you have to make those choices based on very specific, I would say, thought process, wherein you look at where is it that you will thrive? What will bring out the best in you? Don't go by generalized advice that law is the best. You'll get into a job straight away. Economics, future is uncertain. No, if you're good at something, the path opens up to your areas of strength and leads to the ideal careers for you.
The next question is, ma'am, generally when we say computer science, it's the only one path which comes to our mind is BTech. But here students are asking that if they apply to Ashoka, Plaksha, and they get a major in computer science, is it a good decision to go about it? Because the Indian mindset is more when it's computer science, it's more IIT.
So it depends. If you want to do an engineering course, which involves a lot of technology, then go in for IIT or any other engineering college like the triple IITs. There are many today. There are good private engineering institutions where access to those courses is no longer difficult. So shortlist them. And if it's a technology-oriented program that you want to, then go for the engineering program. But if it's more software, then a BSc program at Ashoka or Delhi University, Bombay University, Plaksha would give you the necessary training and platform for great jobs with specializations which you would pick up during your program. So again, it depends on you. Whatever you choose, make sure you have looked at the syllabus and you've looked at the placement opportunities, the kind of training you'll get to make you job ready, and then decide.
Thank you, ma'am. There are a lot of questions regarding civil services. The students are asking about which subjects will be good. Is it taking a economic honors or a history honors courses are good, a management courses are good, or taking up art subjects will be best to go for a UPSC?
I love these questions, and it clearly shows that you're thinking ahead in a very strategic way. So first point, as you prepare for civil services, make sure that you have a fallback option, which should be something that you will enjoy as a career. So if not the civil services, then what? It could be management, it could be going into teaching, it could be becoming an economist, a psychologist, anything by way of which particular field excites you. Because civil services brings in people from all backgrounds. The preparation for civil services should start now. It includes a very rigorous process of 3 stages. The first is preliminary exam, which no longer has a subject. So in the preliminary exam that you will undertake, which has multiple choice questions, MCQs, you have to be very good with general knowledge, current affairs, and there's a paper which is civil services aptitude. It has questions related to numericals, to aptitudes of logical and analytical reasoning, English, and how you'd respond in different situations. So you have to prepare for this. Next comes the mains exam. The mains exam, you have one subject. So when you asked what subject you should take up a subject which has a proven ability wherein you have done well throughout, a subject which you have excelled in throughout, put in effort, done well. Because this is an exam which requires you to have a competitive edge. So take up the subject wherein you can score great marks because you have a command over it and you love reading it. So you will have one subject, general studies, essay, English and Hindi, or a regional language. After this, the interview. However, I have found that if you're strong in your subject and you're strong with current affairs and general knowledge, it gives you an edge. So that journey of being up to date with what is happening in the world around you is vital for the civil services.
Next question is, hello ma'am, I want to pursue ACCA as a profession and also do BBA and MBA hand in hand. Would you recommend me to do my college privately or full time?
So ACCA is a chartered accountancy exam, all right? And for ACCA, you have to do it online. So you can do it alongside your BBA or BCom. So it can be done alongside. You don't have to. I'll just have to charge this 1 minute. All right. So my computer is charging now. You join a regular course because it gives you an opportunity to learn a lot from attending the classes, doing collaborative work, projects, and alongside do ACCA. It's a very well-structured course. Remember that ACCA is different to CA in the sense that you do not audit accounts. So you're prepared well for accountancy, but Government of India has only mandated chartered accountants to audit accounts. All multinationals, as well as Indian companies, will take people with an ACCA background. So along with the studies of ACCA, do your undergraduation in accountancy, economics, management, psychology, anything of your choice. It could be literature and ACCA, sociology and ACCA. So whatever subject you're good with and you liked accounts, start off with ACCA, and that'll prepare you for a very diverse portfolio and bring out the best in you.
Ma'am, a question which is quite asked many often when we interact with the students. Ma'am, should I go with BBA plus MBA integrated course, or should I do both the courses from different colleges?
You know, if you do a 5-year course from one campus, you're limiting yourself because the world is changing fast and you need to move on and acquire experience in some other course, in some other campus, in some other part of the world. So don't limit yourself for 5 years in one campus. Do 3 years in one campus and then decide what next. You may decide that you don't want to do an MBA. You may say that now I want to do media, I want to do law, or I want to go in for something very different which is trending. I want to move into communication design. So don't limit yourself. Do the 3 years and keep options open.
There's a question.
Next question is, I am great at biology, fine at physics and chemistry, horrible at numericals. I am great at music and instruments. I'm confident about it. I'm confused between a doctor or a musician because as per the Indian mindset of people, everyone tells me to pursue for MBBS. Can we pursue music as a career? Is there a future in it? Is abroad better than India for this?
I love your question. So remember, there's a future in anything that you excel in. You have to really be good at it. You have to showcase your talent. So just to give you an example, Mr. Amit Mukherjee loved geology and he loved music. So he never gave up practicing music and giving concerts but he became a geologist. He became the Director Geological Survey of India. And then he moved on, he got an opportunity and he became Director Sangeet Research Academy. So from one area, geology, to a very different one, music. And then he was invited across the world to give recitals. So what I would advise is, as you love biology, and the 21st century is a century of biosciences, take up biology and alongside continue with music. Now, biology will lead to a number of specializations like neurosciences, cognitive sciences. If you study psychology along with it, psychology and biology at an intersection lead to a lot of wellness related courses. So study biology, don't have to do MBBS, look at a specialization in biology and do music. If you want to widen your scope, take up psychology, because psychology, biology, and music could make a very good combination. You could go for music therapy if you take up psychology, psychobiology, wellness related fields, wellness management, wellness expert. And of course, biology could lead to biotechnology. It could lead to many, many specializations, like, as I said, study of how the mind thinks, that is cognitive science, neuroscience, and more to come. So biology is a trending subject. Go for it along with music.
How can we be sure that our careers will be secured, especially considering the rise of AI? Referring especially to design fields such as graphic and animation, there have been mass layoffs both abroad and India. So how can we be sure about the careers and will be secured?
So as far as animation is concerned, as far as UI UX is concerned, yes, a lot of this will be automated. So essentially, what you need to embrace are areas which are not overtaken by AI. So for example, presently, you have something like environmental design. You have design which is immersive design, right? So take on areas of design which are not going to be overtaken by AI. And the ones that are not going to be overtaken by AI ever for many, many years are areas of design which connect with humanities and connect with technology. So see how you can look at these particular emerging fields which we spoke to you about. There you will always be relevant. Design thinking, for example, is a program that you can integrate with your creative strength. Design thinking is how do you empathize with the problems at hand to create solutions. So as you're a creative person, design thinking will help you to stay ahead of that competition where technology overtakes certain jobs.
What is your opinion about sports as a career? Is it a good option to go for? Is it, has a scope?
Everything has a scope. It depends on what you bring to it, the talent you bring to it, the competency, the knowledge. So when you talk about sports as a career, one aspect is where you're in the field as a player, as that tennis player, the hockey player, the badminton player, and so on. Now, that cannot last forever. So if you want to remain in that environment of sports, we recommend that while staying ahead of the game and excelling in it, take up a program like sports management, sports psychology, sports media. We have had students who were ace sports people, shooters or tennis players, but they did a management program or a media program and went into these aspects of remaining in the field of sports through a specific specialization.
Ma'am, next question is that is cybersecurity a good option for future?
Yes, definitely is. Cybersecurity is trending, and cybersecurity is required more and more and more as AI will start hacking into systems and computers. So cybersecurity is definitely a very important field, and go ahead with it. And along with that, pick up something like analytics or data science, which would make you secure in terms of a wider scope of careers in computers. Others? Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am. Another question is what is the best way to get into economic policy making?
The best way to get into economic policy making would be to do your master's in economics, PhD. Now, if you want to be part of government, there's the Indian Economic Services. So appear for the Indian Economic Services, and you could be part of government policy making. You could also join the United Nations, or with your expertise in economics, you could join a consulting firm. So consulting firms like Pricewaterhouse, KPMG, and others take people who are specialists in economics.
Ma'am, there's a question how to get into an Ivy League college for computer science and what are the necessary steps I could take for improving my odds?
So getting into an Ivy League for computer science, let me tell you at the outset, is difficult because lots and lots and lots of people aspire to take up computer science. It's a trending field. So in order to get into an Ivy League with computer science, you have to excel in academics. And in addition to that, show some really outstanding work wherein you were part of a project of software development or part of a project where you created something unique through your use of computer science and technology. So project work, use of computer science, say, for the development of communities, for the development of quality of life would give you an edge. But it has to be excellence all the way. And we will be able to see what is it that you need to do in terms of leveraging your unique talents, your unique aptitudes, and help you to develop that particular profile, that particular brand, which would then put you above the rest in that competition, put you ahead of the competition.
Ma'am, there's a question. There's a large number of people taking psychology as a career. I mean, written as 14% growth per year. Does this mean that people may have a difficult time finding jobs in the future because of the competition? Will the scope in India be high in the future?
So when you say psychology is a career, it can be looked at in many ways. One is psychology as a subject, which is a behavioral science, which would be useful for any career. So you've taken up psychology and you move into management or media or law with this background of psychology, which gives you a better understanding of people. I'll give you an example. We had a student who did his undergraduate in psychology while he prepared for communication design. His name is Sagar Kapoor. So he did his undergraduate in psychology. While doing that, he prepared his portfolio in design, photography, videography, preparing scripts for movies, and he applied to the National Institute of Design. He prepared a great portfolio. He prepared for the entrance. He got it. Now, after he completed that course, he got the best job offers because he had studied psychology and had an understanding of people, because design requires you to know the mindset of people for whom you're making that particular design or that particular documentary or that particular film. So one is that you use it as a building block. The other is that you use it to move into a specialization like clinical psychology or industrial psychology, or you move into teaching the subject. So it depends on whether you want to specialize in a field of psychology, go in for counseling, go in for therapy, go in for any specialization like clinical psychology, teaching, or you want to use it as a building block for another career. So there'll never be ever a person without a job with psychology. And the best news is, now let's share the best news. Tech companies like Google, Microsoft, Facebook are hiring people with a background of psychology to humanize robots and chatbots. So 20% jobs in tech companies are for people who are specialists in psychology. So there's always a possibility, but you've got to be great at the subject, have a command of it, domain knowledge, along with employability skills.
What do you recommend if people want to change their school or board after, class 10? Is it better to go for ICSC, CBSE, or, going for an international board? Does it give any benefit?
See, again, it depends on the institution and it depends on the kind of courses you want to take up. So it's not the board always, because I have talked about it in my travels and conversations across the world. The Indian boards are highly regarded, whether it's CBSE or ISC, highly regarded. What they look for is, and they're very clear, that within the given system, how did you perform? So therefore, more than just looking at the board, look at what is on offer in your school in terms of the teaching learning process, opportunities for research, for projects, for exchange programs, and then decide where you want to go. So a student-centered approach to teaching and learning in any organization will tap your potential to the fullest. It's not the board that matters. It's how you would perform in the system. And this clearly came through in my recent travels to US, wherein this was repeated in almost every campus because I was keen to find out. Then ICS did a research wherein we asked the same question of universities in Canada, in UK, Australia, New Zealand, US. And the answer was, we respect and regard all boards. It's how a student does within that system that we look at.
Can you please guide us on the alternative paths? Like if I haven't taken a subject and if I want to study, because there are questions like I'm a commerce student without maths. I feel like all the doors of good career opportunities are closed for me, as all of them requires maths. But at this point of time, mid of my class 12, I can't even afford to study maths. I don't even do it in class 11. Please guide.
So what I would like to tell you is that a lot of universities today are giving you opportunities to do a foundation course in the subject that you did not have, particularly the liberal arts campuses in India and universities abroad give you an opportunity to build up your strength in that subject. So for example, we had a student who went to Western University in Canada and she wanted to join Richard Ivey. She had not taken up mathematics. She did it during the first 2 years and she got into Richard Ivey because she built up her profile and her competency in math. Similarly, to give you an example, most universities in India require you to have math for biotechnology. Now, if you have not taken up mathematics and you have physics, chemistry, biology, there are a lot of universities which will say that in the first year, build up your competency in math. You still have time to do mathematics as an AP subject, advanced placement subject. Again, we have students who have done maths as an AP subject and got eligible for courses that required math in UK, in US, Canada, as well as India. So it's never too late to pick up the subject that you feel you do not have as an eligibility criterion for what you want to do. It's never too late. You can do it now.
Any tips while choosing subjects?
Yes, the tips I'll give you while choosing subject are twofold. One, with the kind of interdisciplinarity which is coming in, which is very important for the future. If you have an interdisciplinarity mindset, that is going to keep you ahead of chat GPTs and all the technologies that are coming in, because you'll be able to look at the whole and you'll be able to integrate the parts into that whole for problem solving. So choose the subjects that you're best at across the board. Number two, if you're keen on certain fields which require a combination of subjects, take those as well. So if you're going in for engineering in India, you need physics, chemistry, math. Your fourth subject could be economics, it could be literature, it could be history, anything. If you love those subjects. It's not necessary that with science you can't have history. The boards allow it. ISC, CBSE, IB, Cambridge, they allow subjects across the board. If you're taking up physics, chemistry, biology, say for medicine, your fourth subject could be psychology, economics, geography, anything of your choice. So take the subjects that you're best at, keep in mind the eligibility, and take the subjects which are required for eligibility. If you find you're not all that great at them, work at building up your strength in those subjects.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The many questions we have requested students to write to us on institute@icsfield.in and contact us.
Yes.
Any last special tip, advice for our students who are, choosing the colleges and students who are going to sit for the entrance exams next year?
I would say, to begin with, set your goals high based on your dreams, your aspirations, keeping in mind your aptitudes and interests. Remember, if you can dream it, you can do it. So don't ever compromise on pursuing your dreams and your goals. We are there to help you. And to be future ready, follow the tips that we gave you. Keep yourself informed and keep yourself aware of what it is required at every stage to be able to get to the course, the campus, and the career of your choice. There's lots there for you. Network effectively and continue to upgrade your knowledge and skills. So believe in yourself, believe in your goals, have a positive attitude. And I would say there's something called the daily dose. So the daily dose is activities that release certain hormones like D for dopamine, O for oxytocin, S for serotonin, and E for endocrines. Now, what activities release these? Exercise, yoga, music, nature, sunshine, helping people. They release these hormones and they then keep you in a very happy state of mind, a very positive state of mind, and they help you to succeed in your efforts. So never hesitate to take help when you need it. Reach out. Remember, you are special. Your parents, your teachers, all of us here are there to ensure that you succeed in your initiatives, in your career, and are able to lead a life of great fulfillment and happiness. All the best. Thank you so much, Ms. Pooja Ahuja, Ms. Dipali Srivastav, for facilitating this webinar and our team behind the scenes. So we have a large team behind the scenes, headed by Piyush, who has, with his team, worked on ensuring the success of this program. I thank all the members of the ICS team who have helped to ensure a seamless program. I thank our viewers. I thank parents, teachers, and dear students for being with us throughout this webinar, for your excellent questions, which helped us to widen the scope of the discussion and the information. Thank you. All the best. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Das, for giving us so much of knowledge. Dear students, you can stay in touch with us, like us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can connect with us, contact us on 9335912616 or write to us on institute@icsmail.in. We come up with daily blogs. Do check out on our ICS website, www.icscareergps.com, or on our Facebook page. Thank you so much. Stay tuned to our channels. We'll get back to with a lot of new seminars and webinars.
And we'd love your feedback about how you found this webinar. Do send us your feedback. You can put it in the chat box or you can write to us. And if you still have a question or a question comes to your mind later today or tomorrow, any day, we are just an email away, just a call away. Be in touch. All the best. Bye for now.